Hello, I'm Ann Rice, and this is August 2008. You are probably wondering, why is this woman so dressed up? What is she celebrating? Well, I want to tell you what I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating the fact that I've been 28 years completely sober. 28 years without a drink. 28 years without being drunk. And I'm very, very happy about it. And I feel like I want to tell you about this because I want to warn you about what alcohol did to me, what alcohol did to a lot of people I know, and what alcohol might have done to me if I hadn't stopped. Now, I didn't start to drink as a very young person. I was maybe 19, 20 years old when I first had a drink. But from the very beginning, alcohol was really bad for me. And I got drunk. For years I was an episodic drunk. Then after a considerable length of time I became what I would call a steady drunk. I still managed to be very successful at life. I wrote Interview with the Vampire and got drunk at night after I'd finished writing it, or got drunk in the day after I'd finished writing it all night. I wrote The Feast of All Saints and managed to get drunk in the evening afterwards. I don't know that I'd be alive today if I had kept up the way I was going back in 1978. But something saved me. It was a miracle. And the name of that miracle was Christopher Rice. It was my son. Of course, I'd stopped drinking when I found out I was pregnant with him, but as soon as he was born, I started to drink again. The first thing I asked for after I came out of labor was a beer. I wanted to celebrate the fact that Christopher was born, and I didn't know any other way to celebrate in those days except to get drunk. And I was drunk most of Christopher's first year of life. But at some point, my husband Stan and I looked at this child, this beautiful, beautiful little boy, and we said to ourselves, we're not going to do this to this kid. We're not going to let him have drunks for parents. We're just not going to let this happen. And so we stopped. We stopped in the summer of 1979, and we never drank again. And we did that for Christopher, but we did it too for ourselves, and it was one of the best decisions, one of the most important decisions that we ever made. I'm here today to tell you about it because I wanted to tell you, don't make the mistakes I made. Don't give your young years to drinking. Don't give your young adulthood to being drunk. Don't give any time at all to being drunk. Right now, the whole world is conspiring against you when it comes to drinking. There are beautiful ads for alcohol on television. There are wonderful, glamorous movies in which people drink, and it's funny and it's amusing, and it looks extremely beautiful to see an amber-colored dash of brandy in a glass. All that's going to be there. All that's going to be around you, all that temptation. And you're going to be told that beer drinking at football games is fun, and beer drinking at parties is even more fun, and having wine with dinner is graceful and beautiful and European. I'm here to tell you, resist all of that. Resist it, because behind all that glamour lies nausea, killed brain cells, confusion as to what you've said and done, danger when you're driving your car, danger when you're in a car with somebody who's drunk, and just plain danger to you, period. Don't go for it. Don't do it. As I said, 28 years has passed since I gave up drinking. Since that time, I've lost my husband. My son has grown up. He's a healthy, strong, successful young man. He's a successful novelist. I could go back to drinking now if I wanted to. There isn't anybody in this house to say, Ann, don't pick up that beer, don't pick up that glass of wine. But I wouldn't do it for anything in this world. I wouldn't go back to the headaches, the sickness, the confusion, the misery. I wouldn't go back to the killed brain cells. I wouldn't go back to the killed moments. I wouldn't go back to the blackouts. Now, right now, the country's surrounding you with glamour, as I've said. They're surrounding you with glamorous ads. But the country's also turning away from alcohol. It's getting a little critical of alcohol for the first time. It's getting critical of drinking the way it got critical of smoking a few years ago. Now, if this nation could turn away from smoking the way it has during my lifetime, it can turn away from alcohol too. It can make drinking an exceptional thing and something that we just won't tolerate to see out of hand on our highways and at our parties and in our restaurants and in our public streets. And I ask you to help with that. If you have a drinking problem, get help for it. There are groups you can go to and you know who they are. There are support groups who will help you. There are friends who will help you. Get that help. Do it. The reason I can make this announcement is that I don't belong to AA. I don't belong to any of those groups. But I would have joined them if I'd had to. I would have done anything to stop. And I'm urging you now to take the steps to stop if you have to. And if you haven't started, don't start. Just don't drink. Just don't drink. You can live a wonderful and happy life without it. I've been through many, many, many Mardi Gras in New Orleans without drinking a single drop. I've been through weddings without drinking a single drop. I've been through celebrations and parties and wonderful, happy moments without drinking a drop. And I've never been more clear-headed and happier in my life than I am now. Thank you very much for this, for listening to me, for giving me a chance to talk to you about this. This is my public service announcement. It's something I felt I had to do. And again, thank you, and all my love.